Imagine a child discovering a book that speaks directly to them, not as an assignment, not as a syllabus requirement, but as a doorway to curiosity, imagination, and self directed learning. For many of us, the habit of reading began quietly and early, and it stayed with us, shaping how we learn, how we think, and how we adapt across our lives. But for millions of children, that habit never gets the chance to form. When we talk about barriers to reading, we often think about the obvious ones: no libraries, too few books, underfunded schools, but there is another less visible barrier. Even when books exist, access is often limited by systems that do not work for children. Libraries that are difficult to manage, manual registers that discourage borrowing, complex procedures that keep books locked away, physically present yet practically unreachable. Over time, books become something to be protected rather than shared, and children learn an unintended lesson that reading is controlled, conditional, and distant from everyday life. Reading is not just about literacy, it is about building learning stamina. Children who read regularly learn how to learn independently, navigate unfamiliar ideas, build confidence across subjects, transition across educational environments. Strong reading habits create learners who are resilient, learners who can move from rural schools to urban colleges, from structured classrooms to self directed adulthood. But habits do not form through instructions alone, they form through access, repetition, and ownership. Ownership is the missing link. What many children are missing is not just motivation, it is agency. When children can choose a book, borrow it, care for it, and return it, something shifts. They stop being passive recipients of knowledge. Rather, they become participants in a learning system. Ownership turns reading from a task into a practice, and practice turns into habit. This is where tools like TecShare MyLibrary come in, not as a replacement for libraries, not as a distraction from books, but as a way to remove friction from access. By helping schools and communities organize their physical book collections more efficiently, MyLibrary allows books to circulate more freely, children to borrow without intimidation, and libraries to grow without administrative overload. When managing books becomes simpler, access naturally expands. And when access expands, reading habits have room to take root. Inside a school or community library, MyLibrary supports simple reader identities that give children a sense of belonging, clear borrowing and return flows that build routine and responsibility, digital visibility into physical collections so books do not disappear into cupboards, light touch adult oversight without removing student agency. The technology stays in the background, but the books stay at the center. It is not just about managing libraries better, it is about unlocking books as tools for lifelong learning.